Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome. How's everybody doing today? John Arvosis here, Washington, D.C. Um, Nicolina's been lobotomized. That's too bad. What's going on? We are here to talk about Ukraine, the latest updates, which I have in front of me. And as always, we're going to take a couple minutes and just let folks filter in, say where you're from, etc. If you would. Hey, Mike. I'm doing tea today to perk me up a little and help my chest. I know yesterday I had a very interesting dinner that I said I was invited to that ended up being just really fascinating, actually. It was really cool. There's my tea. Here's my tea. Anchorage 69. I don't remember, although for now, is that good or bad for Anchorage right now? Hey, John Sarge. Nope, I've got to change my camera angle so people on TikTok don't yell. There we go. There we go. Ah, all right, guys. Yeah, like I said, we take a couple more minutes just to let folks sort of filter in on all the services. But yeah, nothing going on my end. I already flipped the screen. Already did it. Ha! Beat you to it, Mike Webb. Blue lights are on. Yep. Oh, my microphone is on. Oh, yeah. I got my mic on and everything. I've been very good today. I'm surprised. Usually not this good. Yeah, there was some news about Russia and Lithuania that's kind of annoying that I'm going to talk about. I'm a little annoyed about it. We shall talk. Sasha's doing well. It still, remains to be seen. I mean, she's, without getting into too many details, but she's been, that's right. This is SNN, the Sasha News Network. No, she's doing well. She kind of, remember, was having like lots of issues, and she is able to hear her diet is back. She's eating well. She's not throwing up. She hasn't had a movement since Sunday, but that can be normal when you have diarrhea. So I'm hoping that starts soon, because otherwise then she's going back to the hospital for that. But again, that should kick in shortly. We hope to God. Oh, World War III was trending on Twitter. I would not worry about that. Oh, you guys crack me up. Cute Cindy. So what else is going on? Baby Shoe, thank you for buying the subscription. The TikTok folks, we've got the subscriptions turned on since was it Rhino? I'm already forgetting his name. Rhinos. Yeah. Rhinos was kind enough to give me one of his invites. So I believe it was trending. I don't know why it would be actually probably trending. I guarantee you if it's trending, it's because the Russians were doing it. I'll bet you. I don't know if Biden is increasing the U.S. troops any higher. We're setting up a new headquarters in Poland, but that doesn't necessarily mean we're going to have more troops. They could be moving from somewhere else in Europe. I mean, I am on TikTok. I'm on TikTok. I'm here. I'm in like lots of places at once. Hello, Sweden. Oh, we're going to maybe go another minute and then we'll start. We usually like to wait a few minutes just for folks to filter in. I'm on TikTok. I'm live on TikTok right now. Yep. Aravosis. If you can find my profile, it's there. Hey, Pete in London. 11 in the UK trying to stay awake. I hear you. I don't know if you can do it after the show. That's a good question. I don't know. Ask some of the other. Stupid fly. Ooh, the stupid fly keeps flying around. I swear to. Ooh, 1 second. I swear to God, I'm going to get my dad's. My father turned me on to this thing years ago. At the time, I think my dad was 82 and he discovered this thing. It's one of those flies. As I knock you guys over. See, I'm getting so pissed at the fly, I'm knocking my iPad over. It's one of those electronic fly zappers. Oh my God, that thing is just pissing me off. He got in because I was trying to leave the door open earlier today, and it's one of those flies that's a little too brave. So he kind of comes and kind of comes really slow by your face. like it's some, super fly or something. Oh my God. Yes, these things are nasty. They're there's a little battery inside, which there we go. Little battery inside, and see, it works wonders. Oh my God. All right, guys. Yeah, Russian fly. Yeah, it sounds like sounds a little funny there. Well, and it's like going slow anyway. It's very annoying. Check my pulse. It just pisses me off, the damn thing. I'm better now. So it's a tiny Russian drone. Exactly. Well, that drone's about to be thank you, Cammie. The new stuff is interesting. I didn't realize every month TikTok starts with new gifts, which is very interesting. Thank you, Christy. All right, guys, I'm gonna start. We will, as always, the dog is doing well. Thank you. As always, I will start and do maybe 20 minutes of news. At first, I was afraid there wasn't enough news. Now there might be. So I will do the news first. Thank you. Is it Inspired Woman? I'm guessing that. Yep. I'm starting to learn names now. Excuse me. And then once I'm done with the news, we'll do the question and answer on TikTok. Go to my profile and look for the Q&A there. Use the Q&A box in my profile, or thank you, Mike Webb. Or you may certainly post the questions when we're live. Kalispera us when you're live. It just means if you're posting it like right now, when I get to the Q&A, I've got to be able to see it on the screen. That's the only thing. And I will try to notice the questions from, thank you, Donnie. I will try to notice the questions from the subscribers, like Baby Shoe with the little Sasha News Network tag. If I see that, I'll try to answer those questions first as a thank you. On TikTok, it's on YouTube, etc. You guys know you can use the, thank you, Lizzie. You guys know you can use the comment box at the bottom. And of course, if you buy a super chat question, I will always get to those first as a thank you. Thank you, Chelsea. Hope everyone's throwing stuff at me. Thank you, Purnell. Getting lots of gifts and great CF something CFI. So there we go. All right, let's start. Let me start the news, guys. Finland and Sweden have been officially asked to join NATO, which is lovely. As you know, the two countries submitted their application about a month ago. The Turks were causing problems and putting a wrench in it because every NATO country is the FCC removing TikTok? I doubt it. Thank you, Baby Shoe. I haven't seen that news. But every NATO country has to vote on whether it's going to allow the new countries in. So what happened is that Turkey said, we're going to vote no. Well, looks like Turkey got bribed, reached a deal with Sweden and Finland. I suspect also the United States probably sweetened the deal behind the scenes with something else militarily. That's my guess. But nonetheless, Turkey's come along now. They're on board, and it's great. So this is great news. Thank you, Rascal, for that. So we have officially invited them to join NATO, but now what has to happen is it goes to the 30 NATO member countries, and their legislatures will have to vote. Our Congress, for example, is holding, I keep forgetting Syndicate set that up for me. What was that? Whenever somebody does something, I've got to see, what was that? Was that I have no idea. Well, somebody did something. Thank you, whoever that was. Because on my end, it goes bling, and I don't know if it's like when somebody subscribes or what. When Syndicate's back from vacation, I'll find out. That's very funny. In any case, it's got to go to the legislatures of the 30 countries. Each of them has to vote. And then when that happens, we'll hopefully they'll be members of NATO, but it could take up to a year, which is kind of sucky. President Biden announced new plans for the U.S. military in Europe. The new deployments are to include a permanent headquarters for the U.S. Fifth Army Corps in Poland, a move that Putin apparently has long resisted, which is haha. I am on YouTube as well, really quick, broadcasting. Actually, I forget to mention that at the beginning. I'm broadcasting on my iPad there, you guys, on TikTok, and over here, there on my laptop for, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Twitch, the mighty Twitchers, YouTube, etc. And you can go to my YouTube address if you want to see that. It's John Aravosis DC. But I'm staying on TikTok, so don't worry. Is there? Okay, now you guys are worrying me here. All right, I'm gonna look. I'm gonna stop and look. Everyone's saying that there's some new FCC thing about TikTok. Let me see. Oh, they did go after TikTok. Look at them. Wow. The federal. This is interesting. Okay, you know what? You guys were right. This is an interesting story. Okay, I'm going to break in with this one because it's interesting from a social media perspective, and considering a whole slew of you are watching me on TikTok, this is actually interesting. So the Washington Post, among others, are reporting, because there was a bunch of different stories, that the Federal Communications Commissioner in Washington, D.C., a Republican, expressed concerns that personal data from millions of U.S. TikTok users is being accessed in China. An FCC commissioner is calling on Apple and Google to remove TikTok from their app stores over concerns that user data from the wildly popular social media platform is being accessed in China. In a tweet, she shared a letter addressed to Tim Cook and Sundar Pichai, the chief executives of Apple and Google Alphabet, raised concerns over TikTok's China ownership, saying that it harvests swaths of sensitive data that new reports show are being accessed in Beijing. Wow. Now, it does say that the FCC cannot single-handedly compel them to ban TikTok. It does mean the U.S. government is going to be giving them more scrutiny. A recent BuzzFeed report that revealed that Beijing-based employees of TikTok's parent company, ByteDance, had repeatedly accessed private information on U.S. users, despite company assurances to the contrary. Ruh-roh. He emphasized that TikTok is far from a funny video app for young people, calling that aspect of his business sheep's clothing that disguises a sophisticated mass surveillance tool. Ay. Interesting, very interesting, because I'll sort of talk about this anyway, because why not? It's an interesting topic. Last night, we did not do an update. I didn't do a Ukraine update because I was invited to a talk, actually a roundtable discussion that I was a part of about 28 different people. Truth Social. Yeah, definitely not joining that. Thank you, Christy. But I was invited to join a talk of about 28 different people, a roundtable at a restaurant here in DC, to talk about Ukraine, the future, the future of the international order, all sorts of things. And it was a very interesting mix of people, journalists. There was one former U.S. general who I saw him sitting at the end of the table, and I asked the woman next to me, I said, the guy with the white hair, he's got to be a general. Who is he? She didn't know. I was right. There was a general there, former U.S. ambassadors, several current reporters for top publications, one top TV reporter, I'll call him that, TV newsman. We aren't allowed to say who was there because that's part of the rules, because it was meant to be a talk where people could just literally talk freely and brainstorm, basically, to be sort of an intellectual brainstorming. And I was there because of TikTok and you guys. But what was interesting is a number of people came up to me and said they've been afraid to get on TikTok because of this very thing. And I told them, I know people that agree with them. I this is part of my work and it's important. So what do you do? But very interesting. Very interesting. Thank you, Syndicate. So yeah, interesting story. I'm not going to comment on it too much, as I don't want to lose my TikTok access. One of the reporters asked me, and she goes, so do you do you ever criticize TikTok on TikTok? Did you ever criticize China? And I said, not if I can help it. So, after all the shit I went through with my stuff, not if I can help it. Thank you, Kath. Appreciate the lights. Very interesting, though. Very interesting. Thank you, NATObot. So my head is itching. My allergies are going off today. I don't know why. Oh my gosh. So let me continue here. So the U.S. is going to be establishing a permanent headquarters for the U.S. Fifth Army Corps in Poland, something that Vladimir Putin has long been opposed to. Ha ha. And as well as the movement of 2 more F-35 fighter jet squadrons to the United Kingdom. So that for sure would be, thank you, Funky. That for sure would be new troops because that sounds like new weaponry that would be moved from the United States, the F-35 fighters, to the UK. I don't know about the rest of this. The articles have not made clear yet. Does it just mean we're moving forward? We're moving forward to Poland, or does it mean that we're moving troops? In other words, moving troops to Poland that were in Western Europe, or we're moving troops to Poland and setting up this headquarters that's entirely new people from the US or somewhere else in the world. So we'll find out. We'll find out. More news. This I thought was interesting. This was the US intelligence assessment of what Putin's current goals are. Okay. So US intelligence, here we go. Avril Haines, the director of national intelligence, shared the assessment at a Commerce Department conference, blah, blah, blah. We continue to be in a position where we look at President Putin and we think he has effectively the same political goals that he had previously, which is to say that he wants to take most of Ukraine. I was a little surprised to read that. Very interesting. So that is at least the current U.S. intel, whatever position of what they see Putin as wanting, and saying he still wants all of Ukraine and that's his goal. I mean, good luck, but Bulgaria. This was an interesting story too. Actually, a number of you pointed this out to me. I did one of my coffee talks this morning. They're random. They're not every time, but I occasionally do a coffee thing at maybe 10:30 or 11:30 a.m. Eastern time. And somebody had came up with the name coffee talk, like coffee talk, with the New England accent, but instead of coffee talk, TOK, like TikTok, which I thought was very cute. So during today's coffee talk, one of you had mentioned that Bulgaria just expelled 70 Russian diplomats, which ended up being true. I was very surprised about that. I had no idea. That's a significant number. I mean, that, hang on a second, adjusting here we go, make my face a little redder. That's a very interesting number of diplomats to expel. That's about half the Russian diplomats that were there. It's a lot. I mean, in diplomatic terms. It's also very interesting because Bulgaria has that's right, Radoslav in Bulgaria. Radoslav is weighing in from Facebook, who is our Bulgarian friend. What's interesting is, I was going to say Facebook. Bulgaria has had a long-standing friendship with Russia that Russia has really cultivated for years. So it's very interesting how quickly the relationship has degraded. I think, maybe Radoslav, you can tell us, but in large part, it didn't help that Bulgaria was one of the countries, I believe, that Russia shut off the natural gas to. In order to punish them, for joining part of the EU sanctions and all of that, and the NATO sanctions. So, kicking out 70 diplomats is a lot. And kicking out 70 when it's half the total diplomats is a lot. Radoslav is backing me up. I've got the Bulgarian seal of approval here. So, yeah, good. Anyway, it's good news. It's good news. Always good to see more. And frankly, it makes it harder and harder for Russia to conduct espionage in the West when it's losing these kind of assets. Boris Johnson, I saw this story about Boris Johnson, the Prime Minister of the UK, and I knew Harvey Kittle was going to ask me about it unless I mentioned it anyway. So I'm going to tell you about the story anyway. Closed a whole embassy in a city of Russia, or city of... All right. So let me tell you this story. So Boris Johnson said that Russia's invasion of... Now, this, I think, is psychological warfare against Putin. I'm not sure what exactly, but it's some kind of psychological warfare against... That fly is back. I saw that. A fly invaded my apartment today, and it's one of those slow flying flies that like gets in front of your face really slow and just kind of freaks you out. So if you see me doing the like spazzed out this thing, it's because of the fly. um, oh, hang on here. Oh, didn't hear about that. Hang on. You know what? Let me tell you the Boris Johnson story, and then I'm going to mention a story Lisa just brought up. Oh, I've got the zapper. I have my dad, who's not around anymore, but when he was in his 80s, turned me on to this thing. It's an electronic bug zapper, and they're amazing. Absolutely amazing. It's a drone. I know it's a Russian drone. They're coming after me. So the Boris Johnson story. Russia's invasion of Ukraine would probably not have happened if President Putin were a woman. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson said Tuesday, adding that the Russian leader is a perfect example of toxic masculinity. Johnson made the comments in a German television interview days after the war entered its fifth month. The conflict up. If Putin was a woman, should have said were, but that's okay. If Putin was a woman, which he obviously isn't, but if he were, oh, there we go. If he were, I really don't think he would have embarked on a crazy macho war of invasion and violence in the way that he has, Johnson told ZDF. If you want a perfect example of toxic masculinity, it's what he's doing in Ukraine. Now, I'm really curious why Johnson would say that, because typically, in my view, when things like that are said, get away from my It's landing on my teacup. That's disgusting. Ugh. Damn fly. I swear to God, there is going to be carnage tonight in this apartment. I'm telling you, I am going to like be fly hunting. There's a couple things here. First of which, I read this and I thought, what is the point in him saying this? Because the point is he's trying to get under Putin's skin. Okay, this is psychological warfare. But I was kind of like, why? I mean, Putin is a big macho guy. Saying if you were a woman, you wouldn't do that to a macho guy would probably say, yeah, you're right. If I were a woman, I'd be a wimp, right? I mean, somebody like Putin thinks women are inferior to him, I'm sure. So I'm not sure the logic of saying this to him, like whether that would work, right? I mean, unless somebody else has another idea of why would this work with Putin to make him angry. He's trying to make Putin angry. Now, the thing that I did think was funny as well, and some of you brought it up too, was, Margaret Thatcher was no pushover, right? I mean, Margaret freaking Thatcher would go to war quite happily. I mean, well, yeah. I mean, Margaret Thatcher was ballsy. So I've never, if anything, I'm going to throw this in too. I've often found it to almost be and I've heard women say this too. I found it to almost be sexist. To hear people say a woman wouldn't do that. I mean, first of all, it's a little bit sexist against men because it says that, all men want war. But it's also sexist against women because it's like all women are little flowers. All women are pretty little flowers that would never go to war. I mean, it just on both ends, I don't know. A lot of people like to make that comparison. Like I said, for me at least, it always rubbed me the wrong way. But nonetheless, I can guarantee you Boris Johnson was saying that as a way. It was a nice way to say Putin has a small pee-pee. Maybe that's it. Because I guarantee you Johnson was saying this to get Putin upset. It was psychological warfare. Guarantee you. But Putina, exactly, calling him Putina. I think it's kind of sexist on both parts, to be honest. I still do. In any case. So in Kremenchuk, which is the town right here where the Russian missiles came down and blew up, or one missile at least came down and blew up the shopping center. Somebody from Zelensky's office today said they've pretty much given up all hope on reaching any more survivors. That would mean the total is going to be 41 dead, should be what the total is, which is not great. I mean, better than expected if 1,000 people were there, but still, large numbers. This next story is really annoying. Reuters is reporting. I'm going to switch to my little this thing since the damn fly already polluted my Starbucks mug by landing on it. I don't like flies. Hmm. I'm having hot tea. Yeah, Patrick Lancaster is a Putin stooge. Quite. We all know who that jerk is. Don't anybody Google the guy. He's a stooge. He's a Russian. He's a Russian stooge. We'll put it that. I'm gonna use. That's the nicest term I could find for the guy. So, oh, I'm sorry. So I did have a question here or a comment from Lisa. Russian military base 100 miles in had an unfortunate explosion. Oh, that's interesting, Lisa. Let's see here. Hang on. Absolutely Tucker level. Oh, yeah. Oh, God. He's probably more than Tucker. Oh, God, yes. Yes. Russian military base explosion. Let's see. Hold on here. News. I'm not seeing it in any of the I like to find it in sort of the big real news, and I'm not seeing it on any of sort of the real news covers right now. So nothing right now on it, Lisa. I don't know, where did you see it? Did you see it anywhere credible, so to speak? Because I didn't see anything, and I'm not seeing it doing like a simple Google News search here. Все буде Україні. I don't know what that means. I do speak some Russian, but the Ukrainian confuses me. What else are we looking for here? Okay, let me continue then. Well, there have been lots of explosions. Actually, I will say one thing that's interesting. What has happened from the beginning with all the fires and everything else, Ukraine typically doesn't comment. And hey, from Kyiv, Sunday every day. We've got lots of Ukrainians on today, guys. Give them some of our hello. Our sunflower hello on TikTok, please. Miss Mickey, there you go, with the nice sunflower. The Ukrainians from the beginning have refused to acknowledge if they're responsible for all of these attacks, even some of the attacks that we pretty much know they did, like the attacks on Belgorod, which is the Russian town right across the border here from Kharkiv, right? Belgorod's just right over here. And, the oil depot or whatever it was blown up, an ammunitions depot. We know the Ukrainians did it, but the Ukrainians were very careful about it, not admitting it, very interesting. And what they do is, and this is against psychological warfare, by not admitting when they actually did go inside Russia to blow something up, the Russians start thinking that everything that blows up in Russia is because of the Ukrainians, which is the interesting thing, So it's a really kind of a smart move that you kind of freak them out a little bit. So every time something goes off, they think, "Oh my God, did Ukraine do it?" Right? It's kind of a nice way to psych out your enemies. So, well, I'm with you, John Sarge, but Kursk Air Base got hit last night. Kursk. Let me do one last little search here. Kursk Air Base. Kursk Air Base. Let us see. Since oh, no, this isn't. I don't know who these guys are though, and I'm seeing something from a source I've never heard of, claiming a Ukrainian drone has been shot down in Western Russia, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I don't know, guys. I'm not seeing it. Syndicate, I am curious as to, I see. You're seeing it on the live AU map. No, that's interesting. On Reddit, which I wouldn't trust, the live AU map is interesting. Let me look here. Well, okay. Somebody on Telegram is sharing some stuff. So maybe it happened, guys, but there's been no big reporting on it. Yeah. Actually, and I've got a question for you, Syndicate. Why are we now getting all the ka-ching, ka-ching? Like, what's that about? I'm getting all the ka-chings now. I don't remember getting them before. Was just curious what was What was causing it? Was that like a new was that the actually it literally just happened. Nobody had just brought up a super chat or anything. Weird. Oh, he left? Okay. He's in Greece, so we don't want to. I saw him in here, but we're happy when Syndicate isn't hanging out because Syndicate should go and be enjoying Greece with his son. Video and secondary explosions. Okay. Okay. Oh, I saw it on the Kyiv Independent, but I didn't. I'm getting Twitch donations. Get out. That's a Twitch donation? Get out of here. That right there? No. No way. Maybe it is. You guys are surprising me over here. Hang on a sec. You know what? I'll hold on. Since we're learning things here as we go along with tech, let me just launch Twitch on my phone 1 second because I broadcasted Twitch automatically through here. But yeah, no, he should crash for the night. Well, I keep hearing a bring sound, and somebody was saying it's some you want sound effects, that it could have been a donation coming in from Twitch, but I don't think I can accept donations from Twitch yet until I do the crazy until I change over, right? And I haven't wanted to switch over yet on purpose. I don't think so. Let me just check here. Yeah, you can't. I don't think you can donate to me on Twitch yet. Pretty sure. Pretty sure. Yeah. I don't think so. I don't think so. Who knows? Well, tomorrow we'll ask him. See that? Can you guys hear that? It's like a fairy in the background going, bring, bring. It just went on again. We had set it up before. Yeah, I don't think, again, well, see, we had set it up before that when people would subscribe and that kind of stuff, it would, hold on a second. Actually, first of all, can I turn off the volume, the alert volume? Yes, I'm turning off the alert volume. I'm going to bet let me look here 1 second, guys. Follows, subscribers, members. Yeah, it's the Twitch. It's people following me on Twitch is what it is. That's what it is. And thank you, guys. Zenchuck, Static Zephyr, Fallout, and Procurator. You guys just followed me, and that's what it was. Okay. I've turned off I don't mind leaving the ringer on. It's kind of nice to hear. It's like a little reaffirmation that people are liking what they're seeing. Okay, that's what it is. You can't donate yet via Twitch because I haven't joined the affiliate thing, because if I join it, then I've got to broadcast to Twitch doing my own show on Twitch separate from this show that beams everywhere else. And at some point I may, but I'm not doing it yet. So we'll see. All right, let me go back to the news here. So we were talking about Putin being a woman, Kremenchuk. So NATO. So there's a Reuters story out from about 7 hours ago about the whole Lithuania thing. And remember how Lithuania, in order to enforce the sanctions, had said that they were not going to allow trains to pass through Lithuanian territory. In other words, from Russia in the east, going across Lithuania to the little Russian enclave called Kaliningrad, that's just north of Poland. It's not contiguous with Russia. So they were not going to let trains go back and forth. Let me rephrase this. They weren't going to let sanctioned goods go back and forth. The trains were fine, but not trains that had sanctioned goods in them, because that's part of the sanctions protocol. Well, Putin flipped out. Putin started claiming, "Oh my God, you're just blocking all trains and isolating Kaliningrad and blah 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 blah." Well, the story in Reuters today was classic capitulation. It says, oh God, listen to this. European officials, mind you, take a guess at who might be the bad guy here in capitulating to Russia among all the Europeans. I'm going to give you two guesses. What country do you think is behind capitulating because Vladimir Putin's getting angry that the sanctions are hurting businesses in Kaliningrad? And now NATO's and European Union or NATO's trying to strike a compromise. Yes, if you thought Germany, you'd be right. so this is from Reuters. That's why European officials, with the backing of Germany, are seeking a compromise to resolve one of their many conflicts with Moscow. If the traditional route for Russian goods to Kaliningrad, first via its ally Belarus and then Lithuania, is not restored, the Baltic, listen to this though, the Baltic state fears Moscow could use military force to plow a land corridor through its territory. Now they're trying to claim, thank you, Jemmy Gems, for the follow on Twitch. They're trying to claim that it's the Baltic state, that it's Lithuania that's afraid. Now, somebody just checked in from Lithuania. I'm just curious. Are the Lithuanians freaking out because you're afraid of an imminent Russian invasion? Because to me, this sounds like... and then it said later on, though, that Germany, among others, was concerned that they would have to come to the aid of Lithuania if this started a war. And then I went, yeah, that makes a lot more sense. Let me pull this up again. I always pull up my, actually, I'll just Google it, my Kaliningrad map so you can see what we're talking about. Kaliningrad. All right. Here we go. All right. So I will, I guess I can do it this way. There we go. All right. So look at my map closely. I'll show you, and then you guys, you'll see Kaliningrad is the red dot. It's a city and a province of Russia, basically, right north of Poland, right below Lithuania. So if you want to get to Russia in the east, you've got to go to the right and go all the way across Lithuania. See, same for you guys. The red dot is Kaliningrad. You can see the outline of its territory. It's literally a Russian territory north of Poland, south and west of Lithuania. So if they want to go by train, they have to cut across Lithuania to go east to Russia. And too bad, because, sanctions. Well, what everyone's freaking out about is, there's long been concern that Russia would, and this was before the war. There's long been concern that Russia would basically, now remember, Belarus is a Russian puppet, okay? But there was concern that you see here, I'm looking even more closely, that basically from Belarus, which is right over here, that Russia would just steal the land. That border there with Poland and Lithuania, that Russia would just surge across Belarus and steal the land across that border going right to Kaliningrad. I'll show you again here. So if you've got, whoa, hello. Actually, even better, you can see Belarus now. So that Russia would cross Belarus, go all the way to that little border where you see Poland and Lithuania meet and steal that land, so it had a land corridor to Kaliningrad. Now, this has been a long concern. Thank you, Leah, for that. What bothers me is this is the kind of ongoing bullshit that NATO does. We are, we are in a proxy war with Putin. Suwalki Gap, exactly. It's called the Suwalki Gap. And we've got these sanctions in place. And Lithuania enforces the sanctions, and then everyone starts freaking out and going, "Oh my God, Putin's mad. Putin's mad. We better not make Putin mad." We're basically at war with the man at this point, right? Our weapons are killing Russian troops, and we're afraid that we're going to make Putin mad. Thank you, Putin sucks. I'm just I'm over this. What is a proxy war? A proxy war means you're at war with somebody via proxies. In other words, you and I are at war with, well, even better, let's just use the actual example. Russia and the West, Russia and NATO are at war via Ukraine. So we send weapons to Ukraine, and Ukraine uses those weapons to beat up Russia. And then Russia attacks our weapons in Ukraine, but it's the idea that it's actually us at war. Thank you, Grandma. And who else was that? Christy, and there was somebody. Oh, and Putin. So Putin sucks. I did. Thank you. Yep. And the idea is we're fighting via a third party, but we're using the third party to fight our war. Thank you, Leah. That's I've not seen that before. That's cool. That we're using the third party to fight our war. And I just, we've got to stop. We've got to, but we're not. It's not a proxy war in that sense. We are not using the Ukrainians to fight Russia. Russia invaded Ukraine and we're helping the Ukrainians. The Ukrainians are suffering because Putin is trying to eliminate their country via a genocide. So, make no mistake about that. But what bothers me is we are once again sending the message to Putin that I know we're all at war, but we're very afraid of you and we don't want to make you mad. So feel free to do whatever you want, but just know that if you go too far, we're going to be afraid of making you mad. Well, that's just more incentive for Putin to do more crazy things because he knows we're afraid of him being mad. First it was afraid of him being humiliated. Now we're afraid of him being mad. You just don't freaking send that. Boy, I'm having quite the day with Twitch subscribers today. Thank you, Magnus Sweden. And Christy with the cool new. Yeah, that was very appropriate. The face palm, exactly. I just, and he is. Putin's a bully. He only respects strength. We know he only respects strength. And I'm sorry, but the notion that, actually, I will say this. Thank you, Flower Lady. That's one I hadn't seen before. I think there is a danger of Putin invading and taking that land because we have made clear, thank you, Iggy, for those, we have made clear that we're afraid of him. We've made clear that we would do anything not to go to war with him. And if I were Putin, I would think, if I went and grabbed that land between Poland, the Suwalki Gap between Poland and Lithuania, so that I could have a land corridor to Kaliningrad, if I do that, NATO's not going to war with me. They're afraid of going to war with me. They've said so. Thank you, Kathy. Biden said so. Everyone said so. They're all said they're terrified of going to war with me. It'll cause nuclear war. So why don't I just grab the land? I need the land anyway. This is a perfect opportunity. I think it's dangerous. What else we got? Oh yeah, prisoner swap. This was very interesting. There was a prisoner swap today between the Ukrainians and the Russians. 144 soldiers, including 95 Azov-style defenders. That's 95 of the troops who were defending the steel plant in Mariupol, remember? All the way down here in Mariupol. And remember, for like 2.5 months, it was 2,000 Ukrainians holding off 14,000 Russians. I mean, just amazing. Well, the 95 defenders, and of the 95, 43 were with the Azov battalion, which is really interesting. Now, what interests me about that is, hang on a sec. Sorry, I'm just looking here. It's funny. Oh, there's Elise. Getting all of you. Jinx too. Thank you. What is interesting, and Elise, I'll get to you in a sec here. What's interesting is the Azov battalion were the folks that Putin claimed were neo-Nazis, as we call them. Thank you, Grandma, for the flowers. So these were the guys they were talking about putting on trial, right? So it's interesting to me that not only were 95 of the defenders released as a prisoner exchange, but 43 of them were these Azov fighters that the Russians keep claiming are neo-Nazis. So if the Russians were willing to let them go, the Russians are admitting they're not neo-Nazis, right? So Russia's actually making a confession by letting these troops go. That's interesting to me. I'll just leave it at that. Elise has a question or a point. Turkey came through on Sweden and Finland, correct? Do you think they might actually be useful on shipping out of the Black Sea? Well, Turkey claimed a few days ago that it had reached some kind of deal or something to export Ukrainian grain by land via Turkey, is what they said. Thank you, Louis, for that. By land via Turkey. Now, we haven't heard anything since then, so I don't know what the latest is, but thank you, Crusher. It's interesting. I mean, the story I read said, the details still needed to be worked out or something. So I kind of was like, okay, what's actually going on here? I don't think, one sec. I don't think thank you, Jesse. I don't think the grain deal was really. I don't think the NATO deal, letting Sweden and Finland in, gives us any insight into the grain deal, because on the grain deal, Turkey is being a third party, right? On the NATO deal, it was directly NATO. They didn't want, they were being a pain in the ass because they didn't want, they had their own concerns about the Kurds and everything else, right? So it was them being affected directly. That's not what's going on with this. So I don't know that they're connected in any way, but if Turkey can get something done, that's great. I mean, Turkey likes to, think it's friends with Russia too, and I don't think Putin has any reason to let any of the land go through. Why would he? Why would he? Hiya, John. It's Tia from the UK. Followers on Twitter, YouTube, Facebook. Hey, guys. You're funny. When you said Tia for a second, I thought you were going to put, because I've got relatives in Panama and Brazil. I thought you were going to put a Panamanian flag. I was going to go, oh, my God, it's my aunt in Panama. You're making me laugh. Tia. All right. So we got the prisoner swap. That was good news. 3 more medium-range rocket systems are going to Ukraine with Norway's help. These are the ones. Yeah, these are the ones the Brits are going to be sending. So basically, the Brits are going to be sending 3. Today they've announced 3 more medium-range rockets, which are good. They're the rocket systems the Ukrainians need to start fighting back better against the Russians. And the deal was facilitated by the Norwegians because the Norwegians basically provided the Brits 3 similar systems that have been in storage and need to be, whatever one does, dust them off and oil them or whatever one does to these equipment. But basically, by giving the equipment to the UK, it made it so the UK could give its equipment to Ukraine and not be short of equipment in case a war breaks out, right? So that was a really good deal. And we've got Anisichka from Ukraine just weighed in. So give her a little hello as well. She's just weighing in from Ukraine on TikTok. Yulia's here. We always love when Yulia's here. Give Yulia some. Yulia may already be getting the sunflower love. Tyson, thank you. This is cute. I am leaving. I turned the ringer down a little bit, but I'm kind of liking it because it is sort of letting me know that you guys are putting stuff up here. The Gala Sisters says, "What do you think of Eurovision being hosted in the UK, even though Ukraine's Kalush Orchestra won?" I'm actually very sympathetic to Eurovision because, there is a war going on and we have no idea in a year what the situation is going to be like in Kyiv, if that's where they do it. And Eurovision, look, it's one thing for heads of state and others to go to Kyiv and, there's a chance they could get hit. It's another thing for the song contest to basically require every singing group to kind of put their lives on the line. I feel for Ukraine. I don't know. I feel for Ukraine. I feel like it's a bit, I get where the Eurovision's coming from. It's not, we don't know that it's going to be safe, I will say this. The interesting thing to me was Boris Johnson a couple days ago said, I think after Eurovision said they were looking at it being hosted in the UK next year, Boris Johnson turned around and said, I think it should still be hosted in Ukraine. You should be sending it over there, which I thought was really interesting. So I don't know. I know I'm now a diehard Eurovision fan with Eurovision opinions, but I don't know. What do you guys think? I absolutely get the sentimentality of hosting it in Ukraine next year. But am I wrong that with the war thing, it might be a bit much to ask people to go? What do you think? Oops. I know it always takes a quick second for these to catch up, so I'm going to wait while the screen goes. They may not be ready. I understand both sides. I think it should still be in Ukraine. We don't know what the situation will be like in a year. It should be hosted in Ukraine. At what point do you work? It would be a target, too dangerous. You should watch the Will Ferrell movie. Seems like a big target. Maybe Poland can host. Not safe. I see both sides. Interesting. Music heals. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking here too to see what the Gala sisters say. It might be too dangerous. Raggedy Android, given the number of tourists it would pull, they need a lot of hotels and businesses on top of security. I didn't think of that. That's true. Thank you, Evolving Fate, for that. Would the infrastructure be there? Although Kyiv hasn't been hit too hard, so one would hope the infrastructure would be there. People can have a choice. True. The only thing is you don't want to set something up where half the performers are scared to come, because then the contest ends up being kind of screwed. I'd like to. Now this is interesting from Prexis. Here's an interesting idea. I'd like to see them plan for Ukraine, but also have a backup location planned depending on the situation. The only question there would be, typically you've got a big crowd in the audience watching. So, people are already getting their hotel rooms. They wouldn't get plane tickets. I guess they'd be getting bus tickets and everything else. But, now there's a question too. Miss Mickey raises on TikTok a good point. Could they do it in Lviv? And remember, Lviv is way out here in the Western Ukraine. Much safer. I mean, the Russians can still hit it with rockets, but it's way far away from the war zone, assuming the Belarusians don't invade. Haha, right? There's that concern too. Magnus in Sweden says Ukraine can have it in a few years, but not next year. It's too soon. Unfortunately, I am sympathetic about, as I said, I'm sympathetic to doing it for Ukraine, but I'm also sympathetic to the security concerns. Just my take. Could they host it in Poland? Well, I think that's why they're looking at England. England came second. Now, just to ask you guys, is it typical that it is in the country that won the next year? Is that how it works? I'm assuming. Just asking you. Yes. Okay, that's typical. Okay. Well, first of all, if you don't do it in Ukraine, you would have to promise Ukraine that it's coming, right? And I'm not sure how you do that, because, well, how do you do that though? Because the winner, they would be like, the winner next year would want it to be in their country and say, well, we own Ukraine. It's kind of a mess. It has been hosted in not the winner's countries before. Yeah, that's a tough one. Huh. Yeah, that's a tough one. Thank you, Soletto. I just saw that. Let me get, actually, I've got just a few little news stories left and we're done here. The UN has a really bad report out. The United Nations has a report out that says Russia has executed civilians in 30 different towns across Ukraine. That's bad. The 89%, in a new poll, 89% of Ukrainians reject conceding land in order to reach a peace deal with Russia. I say good for them. Richard Branson visited Ukraine today and was talking with Zelensky about Reconstruction, which I think is kind of cool because that's important. Thank you, Grandma. And obviously he's got a ton of money, so he could be very helpful. I didn't see first of all, whose Minister of Defense said what about an August progression. I'm not sure what exactly you're referring to. Give me more. Actually, that's it for what I've got for updates. So we might as well do more of the questions here, but give me more on what that was about. Yulia's texting me. This just in from Yulia. Thank you, Miss Mickey. What is Yulia saying? Okay. Sure. Vasil, a creator on here, a kid from Ukraine who is 18, managed to get out from Ukraine. Wow. Oh, he's a creator on TikTok. Vasil. He is coming to stay with her in New York in her extra room. It's bare bones. Wow. but she's got a favor for us to ask. So you guys, apparently you guys know who Vasil is. Oh, that's funny. Everyone on TikTok is going, oh my God, we love Vasil. I did not know who Vasil was. He's gay. Oh, wow. And was never able to be open about it. So it's an exciting new step. Yep. Very much so. And I already told you, OD Gringo, I already told you. I don't know what you're referring to. Milao archetalinика, ala tore in ligo postolene, Rusty. That is exciting. Is there anything else? Or she's got an Amazon wish list for stuff for his room. Oh, that's wonderful. And we got most of it, but maybe someone would like to help out and get some stuff off the list. It's in her bio. Oh, that's great. I don't mind if somebody wants to go grab the list off of Yulia's bio in her TikTok page. Grab a copy to the link to her the Amazon list for him. I don't mind if you put it in the if it lets you. I don't know if it'll let you. If you can share it in the TikTok comments, I don't mind somebody sharing that there. Okay, and it's a surprise for him apparently. So don't mention it to him, you guys. If you see him online or on his TikTok or whatever, she's doing this as a surprise. He thinks he'll be sleeping on her couch, so they're trying to do it as a surprise for him. Oh, that's sweet. That's sweet. That's sweet. Yeah, somebody, if you can grab the list. Actually, and I don't mind too if somebody wants to grab it, or Yulia, you yourself, why don't you grab the link, share it in the TikTok comments if it lets you share the link. And if you want to, you can try sharing it on the YouTube. It doesn't always accept links because we've got a link detector on because of the spammers. So sometimes you have to be a regular. I don't know if you're a regular on the TikTok, on the YouTube for it to request it. Hang on, guys. That's really sweet. I love that. That's nice. Okay, good. Yulia said she's going to do it. Okay. She's going to post it. If it'll lets her post the link on TikTok, she'll post it here in the comments. And if it lets her post it on the live, she'll post it there too. Again, it might be a little funky because it doesn't always accept it unless you're a regular. Well, that's good. Wow. Warlord Jefferson says he's seeing, or Warlord Jefferson, Warlord Jefferson is seeing reports of a huge Russian jet crash full of incoming troops and conscripts. Wow. Well, let me look for that as we're looking for this. What would it be? Russia jet crash, maybe? Well, I'm seeing it. Well, hang on. I'm trying to find it somewhere reputable. Oh, here we go. No, that's from days ago. There's something from 5 days ago. There's nothing. There's nothing in the news. So I don't know. Again, depends where you're seeing it. There's nothing in the news on that. Russia, yeah, there's a special operation, all right. Leslie, I'm not sure. Poster was not able to, perhaps an error on my part. It's Yulia on TikTok. What was incredible? The plane going down, or what? Oh, that's great about helping this kid, though. That sounds wonderful. Aflac. What? Somebody. I missed it. Did somebody do the duck? Uh-oh. What did I just? Somebody did the duck. Who did the duck? Who am I missing to thank here? Shoot. I'm missing. Leash. Leash sent the duck. I saw everybody saying Aflac, and it's the comment they always make when people, it was a commercial in the U.S. where a duck for an insurance company, where a duck is the symbol. So whenever they put the duck on TikTok, so I knew it as soon as I saw Aflac. I went, all right. I'm in Washington D.C. myself. I'm an American. So what do we got here, guys? In any case, all right. Well, somehow we're trying to post the links. What else you got, guys? Feel free, like I said, put the Q&A in my profile for questions, and you guys here as well. I've got everybody chatting amongst themselves, which is always nice, but always a little weird when I'm trying to get questions. Let me see here. Aflac is, I will show you. Hold on. Hang on. Aflac is an American insurance company. And hold on. Aflac commercial. Oh, this is the very first one.
When I got hurt in this work, I had supplemental insurance. Supplemental insurance? What's that? Aflac. Well, even best insurance doesn't give you cash to cover things like lost pay, other expenses. This does. What does? Aflac. You should ask about it at work. Really? What's it called? Aflac. Aflac. Without it, no insurance is complete. Aflac.
It's I'll show you guys really quick too.
So when I got hurt in this work, I had supplemental insurance. Supplemental insurance? What's that? Aflac. Well, even best insurance doesn't give you cash to cover.
Because the name of the insurance company is Aflac, but it sounds like a duck.
Aflac. You should ask about it at work. Really? What's it called? Aflac. Aflac. Without it, no insurance is complete. Aflac.
I like that the guy just looking at him like, what? But so it's very, so whenever they throw whatever, that was Gilbert Godfrey. Yeah. I saw Gilbert Godfrey once at my favorite little Greek diner in New York. And he was there with, I'm guessing, his son, who must have been 4 years old, 5 years old, the most adorable little boy you've ever seen. Oh my God, the kid was adorable. This was, back 7 years ago now, but oh my God. Havikins. What are you throwing in here? Not Ukrainian news, but an interesting story. British Deputy Prime Minister said the legality of abortion in the UK is settled and will always be covered by the National Health Services. Is American media covering the international backlash to the court's decision? I mean, the thing is, that doesn't really count as a backlash. It sounds like Aflac. That doesn't really count as a backlash because she's simply stating, we're going to keep ours. It was reported something about Boris Johnson. Boris Johnson, when he weighed in on it, he was asked about it and gave a good answer. But TikTok took away my Q&A button in the lives. You'll now find it on my profile homepage. And hold on a sec. I always like to show on my profile homepage. Oops. I hate that. Like when the iPhone turns its own stupid flashlight on. How does it do that? Here you go. If you look, you'll see the red line in the middle there that says what time the live is. And then next to it, you see how it says Q&A in the middle of the line. That's how you enter the questions. So yeah, I mean, statements, they'd cover statements. They did, like I said, they did cover Boris's statement, I didn't get into too many details, Marjorie, because I don't remember the most important point. I don't remember the most important points. It was kind of fascinating. I was saying we had this dinner last night that was former U.S. ambassadors, former general, a number of top media personalities, these kind of guys. And they had me there because of the TikTok work I do, sort of because it was all people in foreign affairs experts, and then some particularly on Ukraine, since I do a lot of Ukraine, obviously, news here. And it was not off the record. We could talk about what was discussed. We just couldn't name anybody who was there or name them by name. But one thing that made me laugh was talking about Henry Kissinger. I was talking with one famous individual and about Henry Kissinger, and we were talking about sort of why lawyers have a bad reputation and why, and I said, well, kind of the same reason politicians have a bad reputation, because there's this, there can be this impression of your, if you sold out to bad people. Henry Kissinger came up, and then I asked, and I said, well, what are his clients? Does he? I made a joke about having dictators as clients, and I said, that tends to make you pretty bad. And I said, does he have dictators and clients? And the response I got was, Kissinger is picky about his dictators. And I laughed and I said, that is such a Washington, D.C. kind of comment to say that Kissinger's not so bad because he's picky about the dictators he works for. I was like, oh my God, that made me laugh. But thanks, Ganowsi. But it was very interesting. I mean, at this point, I don't even, this was 2 hours plus of discussion. So I don't even remember the details, in part because it's a bit like being in school. Like they kind of go around and they pick on you out of order. And I kept getting picked on when they were discussing, like at one point they were discussing Georgia. And I don't know. I mean, I know about Georgia, but I don't know anything about Georgia. So I have nothing to add right now to the current situation in Georgia. And it got to me and I was like, well, I'll take a pass on that. But I said, I've got something else. And what I weighed in on 2 things that I thought were very interesting. I mean, that I personally find very interesting. One, the moderator had, I guess I can say that because I didn't say who the moderator is. The moderator had, actually it wasn't the moderator. Somebody else had mentioned that Republican voters, we're seeing a lot of Republican voters in the polls heading to the elections in the fall, congressional elections, saying that they feel like Democrats are elitist and they feel like Democrats look down to them and talk down to them and think they're bad and this kind of thing. And I said, as somebody who works in Democratic politics, whatever, I said, Republicans have been looking down on me for the last 40 years. And they've been looking down on Democrats. All you need to do is watch Fox News, listen to people. I mean, everything the Republicans say about Democrats is horrific, looking down on and criticizing and everything else. So I think it may be a problem that the voters think Democrats look down on them, but the problem exists because of disinformation and misinformation, and the fact that Democrats are very bad at marketing and selling a message, and Republicans are very good at it. So Republicans have been probably, I would say, more condescending to Democrats than Democrats are to Republicans. But Democrats can't argue their way out of a paper bag, and Republicans do a great job of going, look at those horrible Democrats, look how much they hate you, right? So very interesting. But that was one thing I brought up. January 6th committee subpoenas Pat Cipollone. He's gonna challenge it though. Pat Cipollone was the White House lawyer. He would have a lot of insight as to what's going on in terms of the January 6th attack on the Capitol. And because he's the White House lawyer, he will have a good grounds for saying he doesn't want to come forwards, unfortunately. The other thing was, we were all asked to talk about, like, what issue in foreign policy or foreign affairs do we think is most underrepresented? And one of the guys there said, I have no idea, because I kind of feel like the issues I think are underrepresented are probably the issues I don't pay attention to, but maybe they're represented a lot. I just don't pay attention, right? And I was feeling the same way. I'm like, I don't know. Maybe there's some really bad crisis I'm not aware of. So how do I tell you it's being ignored when the fact that it's being ignored is why I don't know it, right? So anyway, so what I said is, for me as a content creator, I said, I've been doing internet stuff for 30, God, how long? Since 1995. 95, 05, 15, 28 years? No, is it? No, 05, 15, wait, 95 to 05 to 15 to 25. Okay, almost 30 years I've been doing internet work, creating content online. And I said, for me, it's 26. For me, having created and managed communities in all of that time, and I've managed a lot of like this with you guys, creating them and managing them and building them and everything. I've done so much of that work over the years, and it's been a lot of it has been amazing. Actually, the stuff I've created has been amazing, meaning it hasn't been negative. The communities that like this has been a great community. Whenever I've been able to create a community, it's been of really cool people, of you guys. But what worries me, I told them, is the internet has first of all, disinformation and misinformation is so powerful. I don't know what we do about it, but it's creating, serious problems in our country and serious problems internationally. And I'm seeing disinformation coming out of the Russians, and they're doing it beautifully. I said the second thing is we have empowered crazy people. The internet has empowered crazy people. And I said people who in the old days would send us letters, angry letters with the letters cut out of they would cut the letters out of the newspaper, was the joke, and make like the ransom note. And, those were the letters you knew somebody was crazy. Well, now those people go online and they find 1,000, 2,000, 10,000 like-minded friends who are also crazy, but they think, I've found 10,000 people online who agree with me. I must be right. I'm not crazy anymore. And they've got a support team, a support effort. All that kind of stuff. It's really, so I told him, I said, that's the thing that I'm most worried about. I said, I think the internet has been such a force for good, and I think it's killing us. So there you go. And we didn't talk too much about it. We talked a little bit about it, not too much, but it was very interesting. Anyway, I'm talking about the dinner I was at last night. Really fascinating. What else? Thank you. Can now see. What else we got? Oh, Yulia's got something else cute to share. I painted wheat spicklets on the wall. Now, what's the wheat spikelets? What's the wheat about? I know the Ukrainian flag, the yellow in the flag is about wheat, but what's the idea of painting the wheat spikelets? Hang on. Yulia wants me to show you one more thing, but you got to explain the significance. She's painted little wheat things on the wall above the television, but I'm not sure I get what the wheat is about, other than I know the gold in the Ukrainian flag represents the wheat fields. Is it just that wheat is sort of a national symbol as well of Ukraine because of the harvest and all of that over the years, I'm guessing? You think? Somebody, that's right. The bread basket of Europe, all of that. Yeah. Oh, I think it's really sweet though. Oh, I love it. I want to check out the wish list for the kid too. Actually, Yulia, text me the wish list. Text me the wish list. Like, I wasn't even thinking. Text me the wish list, because maybe I can put it, because I have privileges maybe to post. Wheat is Ukraine. Okay. Yeah. Text me the URL for the Amazon wish list. Let me see if I'm able to put it at least in the, I can't do it for TikTok, but I can do it on the, if Joe Blow-Dough is getting crazy, deal with him. I don't know. I'm not following closely enough. What would it be in Ukrainian money? You've got two different questions there, Leona. One is literally how many Ukrainian hryvnia or whatever the currency is called would it be? But that doesn't, or are you asking, oh, she had a leaf come off his plant and she framed it. Oh, I see. That's cute. Or are you asking, what is the relative cost of living value? Like $100 in America, what would it buy you in Ukraine compared to America? Is that what you're saying, Leona, maybe? I'm not sure. Marjorie, it was absolutely amazing. I had so much fun. I mean, I went to the guy afterwards, and I was like, I had a lot of people come up to me because he knew I was uncomfortable because I said I hate going to dinners alone because I don't know people, and he was like, no, 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 don't. He goes, I've got your back, but also, everybody was talking, everybody was mingling, and because he kept telling people about me being the TikTok guy doing all the Ukraine stuff on TikTok, everybody was really interested. Even the general came up to me afterwards and said, so you're the social, what do you say? You're the TikTok meme guy. And I thought he said, you're the TikTok mean guy with an N. And I was like, I'm not that mean on TikTok. But it was kind of funny, this old general. Hold on. I'm going to tell her. I think unless she's been on her. Hold on. Send me the URL to Amazon here. Okay. In case she's not with us there, I just told Yulia to send me the URL so I can do there. Divide by 27. Oh, for the hryvnia. Well, the question might also be cost of living, though. I wonder if Leona was trying to get to that, if that was sort of the idea, like what $100 is there versus $100 here, that kind of thing. I know I'm such a mean guy. I mean, I can be a very mean guy, but I'm certainly not mean on this, unless you get me talking about the United Nations and my evil boss, Mila, who is the worst human being I'd ever worked for in the world. And I worked for Ted Stevens. Okay. Julia's sending me the link. Let's see. At least so I can give it to the TikTok folks. I mean, to the YouTube, etc. Here we go. All right. Let me pull this up. Oh, okay. Oh, that's cute. Yulia, I do not see any pride things in here. Why do I not see pride things in this list? I'm texting her back in case she's not listening. So, all right. I'm posting the link. It worked. There we go. So that link is for the Amazon wish list for the young Ukrainian kid. Oh, she did. She put a ton of pride things and they were all purchased. Okay. Good answer. Oh, get him the Star Trek. Oh, hold on, guys. I've got to look for something. I want to find the Star Trek shirt. It's sort of a subtly gay Star Trek shirt. It's fabulous. Absolutely fabulous. I just sent her a picture of the Star Trek shirt. I don't know if you guys remember. If I wear it sometimes, but it's the Star Trek shirt that has the rainbow underneath it. And it's the rainbow is like the exhaust from the Star Trek. Oh, they're back again. Nathan's favorite people are back. It's the exhaust from the spaceship is a rainbow coming out. So it's a nice kind of pride thing. I just put it on there. Interesting though. Yeah. So, well, that's nice. Okay. Yep. Oh, I already got rid of them, the crazies, but that's good. So that's the list. Yeah. If anybody wants to buy him anything else, I want to buy him the Star Trek shirt though. He'd probably be, I'm a medium and it fit me fine. So depending if he's the same size as me, but, oops, let me open this up again. Sorry guys. Now we're, although we are shifting off into discussion land, which is fine with me. All right. I'm getting it, Julia. Let me get it. Hold on, guys. I want this one to be from me. Proceed to check out. He's tiny, then he'd have a small. I'm assuming it's a small you grabbed. There's a problem. Full address hidden. This item can't be shipped to a wish list or gift registry address. Oh, that's interesting, Yulia. It won't let it go to a wish list or gift registry. You know what, Yulia? Well, first of all, that's a medium. So you'd want to get him a small. All right. You know what? Can you hear me? Are you? I mean, I don't know if you're on with us. It won't. Yeah, it won't let it go to a wish list address. We're pretty much done with the show. This is our hangout period, guys. Right, I'm sending you a picture of what the error that came up. This is now the hangout period when after we go about an hour and 15 minutes, we switch over. I will do the recap. I'll do the recap, but I want to try to get this shirt for this kid first. Yeah, so it would be a small, but also it's giving me an error message that it's not this product. It's not sending it as a. Now, I'd be happy to. I was just going to say, exactly. I'm buying this for the kid. Then you might as well take it off the gift list. I will get it as a small. Okay, I'll get it as a small. And I'm going to buy it. It'll arrive that's fine. It'll arrive in the next week. That's okay. Proceed to checkout. Okay, yeah. Julia, give me your address and I'll make sure I share it with everybody online. Just kidding. Small. Oh, it's a fabulous t-shirt. All right. Thank you for that, Netlin. Sorry, I'll be paying attention to you guys in a second. That's right. It's a secret package operation. Do I need a name for you on this, Julia? Let me add a new address. Okay. Secret package operation. Oops. Come on. It's being evil. It's not really, you're really not going to let me copy it off of here? Evil phone thing. Hang on. There we go. Address. Boom. Address. City. Shit. Happened there. City. State. Hang on, guys. That's fabulous. And I'm not going to put a phone number. It may be used to assist delivery. Do you want to give me a phone number? I mean, I've got your phone anyway, but I don't want to look it up. I'm sending the kid the t-shirt, guys, here. So 1 second here. Or instructions for delivery. Okay. And the last thing I will tell you is wash the t-shirt several times if you can, assuming you got your own laundry. I don't know. I know New York is crazy that way, but for me, it was a little grit. It was the material I didn't like at first. Thank you, Kanausi. And I washed it 2 or 3 times and now I love the shirt. Now it's perfect. But initially it was a little gritty on my neck and all sorts of weird things. And now I love the shirt, but it needed a few. All right, hang on. Street. I will put the apartment on the next line. All right, just double checking here to make sure I get it right. Julia. First name and last name, phone number. Sorry, guys, I'm just looking here. All right, apartment. Home. All right, use this address. All right, excellent. That should do it. Shipping address. I'm just looking one last time. My Amazon. All right. It'll arrive between the 5th and the 8th. That's fine. It's a small. Oh, good. I'm so excited. It's a fabulous shirt. I love that shirt. Because now, of course, it depends if he's into Star Trek. I should have asked, but that's a very gay. That's part of the gay geek shirt. Yay. He's got the shirt coming. Yeah, trust me, washing it a few times, at least twice, maybe 3 times, and then all of a sudden the shirt, you're like, oh, this is nice. But at first it was bothering my neck and everything. And again, helps if he's a bit of a geek. I think it shrinks a little bit if he's small, then that's not a problem. A medium fits me, and I'm 5'10", 160. So if he's small, a small's fine. Well, that's nice. Thank you, Marcy. My deed is done. But yeah, anybody else who wants to buy stuff, feel free. I want to send Ukraine 100 from Canada. How much will get there for their exchange? I mean, that's not, well, it's the way you're asking the question, Leona, that's confusing me. It depends who you're sending the money with, to where and how. Like, for example, when we've been raising money and giving it to Ukrainians, actually, they were getting 100% of the money, I believe, because TikTok was waiving its PayPal was waiving its fees. So for example, the way we were doing it was people would send the money to Vlad directly. On PayPal, you make it a personal payment. Well, somebody's saying it would be 3,700 hryvnias, if that's what you're asking, 3,700. But normally PayPal takes a little, but this time PayPal was waiving the fees, I think, for Ukraine. So 100% of it would get there, but it would be 3,700 hryvnias in their own currency. So there you go. Anyway, and I do have to wear my Star Trek shirt tomorrow. I will. That's so cute, though. Oh, I wish I was in New York. I would love to show him around. That would be so cool, especially if he wasn't really able to be out in Ukraine much. That's neat. I love stuff like that. That's a good amount of money. Oh, is it? $100 in Ukraine? Yeah, you can PayPal a person. Yeah, you can PayPal a person. On PayPal, when you're PayPaling a person, always make sure that you select that it's going as a personal payment, because personal payments on PayPal in general, they don't charge a fee for that 3% fee. It isn't charged for personal payments. And sometimes people, I've noticed, have made that mistake, even sending me a gift, and they'll send it as a business thing, and PayPal takes 3%. If it's just a gift, then like to another person, you send it as personal, and you won't lose 3%, or the person receiving it won't lose 3%. Okay, so that is a lot of money in Ukraine. Some people's salaries are $200 a month. Wow. Oh, that'll be sweet. Oh, I'm looking forward to this. That's really sweet. Now, this kid, what kind of a visa did he get? Oh, I would love the information for how to use the mic on both streams. Are you kidding, Misha? Absolutely. Yeah. Here, let me follow you. There, I followed you. Why don't you message me afterwards if you want on TikTok? But I would love that. You sent a couple donations to Vasil. That's nice. ABBA won a few times, I think, didn't they? I thought ABBA won a couple times Eurovision, since I'm now the Eurovision guy, not having known what they were before. Anyway, but yes, probably Misha. I would love that. I would love that. Now, I've been trying to get TikTok to give me the code I need to do that. Oh, interesting. Okay, that's great, Yulia. That's great. To do that. But hang on a sec. I'm texting Yulia. We should probably do this afterwards, but what the hell? Okay. Sasha's doing well. Recap. You're right. Recap. Then we can talk Sasha. Sorry. We got so hung up buying this cute Ukrainian kid some t-shirts. I forgot about the recap. Sorry, as the Brits say. Sorry. Hey, Leslie. Thank you. All right, guys, let's do our Okay. All right. So Finland and Sweden, thank you, Kanausi. Finland and Sweden have officially been asked to join NATO now that Turkey's objections have been lifted, which is fabulous. Oops. What did I just miss? Hang on. What's the... Oh, okay. Sorry. I thought I just missed something. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, we can talk later, Yulia. I'm with you. All right. So Finland and Sweden officially have been asked to join NATO. Biden has announced new plans for the U.S. military in Europe, including a permanent headquarters for the U.S. Army Corps in Poland, and moving 2 more F-35 fighter jet squadrons to the UK. U.S. intelligence believes that Vladimir Putin's position, his goal is still to take most of Ukraine. He has not changed. Bulgaria says it's expelling 70 Russian diplomats, which is a huge number. It's about half of the Russian diplomats. And it's particularly noteworthy because Bulgaria used to be very close to Russia until the war started. Boris Johnson said that Russia's invasion of Ukraine would probably not have happened if Vladimir Putin were a woman. And he called Putin the perfect example of toxic masculinity. In Kremenchuk, which is the town in Ukraine where the Russians bombed the shopping mall in that horrific attack this week, not this weekend, yesterday, I believe, yesterday or the day before, they've given up on finding anybody alive, which means about 41 people will have died. NATO is trying to strike a compromise on its sanctions on Kaliningrad, which smells to me like somebody's getting cold feet, as they always do. A very bad message to send Russia. The Ukrainians and the Russians have just done a prisoner swap for 144 prisoners, including 95 defenders of the Azovstal steel plant in Mariupol, which is interesting to start with, remember, because they said they were going to put them all on trial. It includes, of the 95, 43 of the Azov defenders who were with the Azov regiment, which is the regiment that the Russians keep claiming are neo-Nazis. So the fact that that regiment, that they're letting some of the people go for prisoner exchanges, means the Russians are admitting that that regiment isn't necessarily neo-Nazi. I mean, it's a rather huge admission. 3 more medium-range rocket systems will be going to Ukraine from the UK with the help of Norway. Russia, a new UN report says that Russia has executed civilians in 30 different Ukrainian towns. 89% of Ukrainians in a new poll have said they reject conceding land for peace. And Richard Branson, huge British billionaire, Virgin Records, Virgin Atlantic, Virgin everything, visited Ukraine today, met with Zelensky, and they talked about Reconstruction, among other things, which would be really great because it's a big deal for Zelensky to have a relationship with Branson would be huge, because Branson's a huge philanthropist as well, and this would suggest that he's interested in helping Ukraine. So that's great. The Ewoks, I've got to change that again. I came up with the Ewoks. I keep trying to find crazier and crazier things. My tea. There we go. All right. Who are they worried about? And an emote 2 weeks ago, or is there something else I'm missing? Hello, Finland. We're joining NATO. You are. It may take a while, for all the countries to vote, but we are very excited to have you. Woo woo! We need to start getting like the Finnish and Swedish national flowers or something to start. At least we can send the flag. Send some Finnish flags to Lisa Marie on TikTok, folks, just to welcome her and to welcome her to NATO. There you go. Kanausi sending confetti for Lisa Marie. To help rebuild the Airbus Mriya. I don't know what that means. What is that? There we go. Now we're getting Finnish flags. There we go. Oh, let me take a look, Samantha. We got off talking on other topics, so I didn't even end up looking at the Q&As. Hang on. Let me, I'm trying to find yours since you asked in particular. Shoot, now I'm trying to see the Samantha Freeling. Hang on, Samantha. Let me see if I can find yours. Oh, actually, I can look. Oh, there it is. That's got to be you. Here it is. Has there been any word on how the U.S. will be affected due to the grain situation in Ukraine? Interesting. Not yet. I don't. That's a good question. I actually don't know to what degree the international grain price affects our price here at home. Although my guess is when the international price goes up, ours goes up too. But let me just see here. U.S. grain prices. Good question. I mean, things like lack of rain, global crop problems, 0.2 years of high prices. But they're talking about lots of different problems, with Russia being a problem. Well, the Russia thing, exactly, because it's taking grain off the market, is going to increase prices. I've not seen specific articles about, for example, how the war might affect U.S. Yeah, it's funny. A lot of the stories here have been about the global food crisis, and Africa, the Middle East, basically that the Russians are holding them hostage, and that concern. But I don't know beyond that. I don't know. Actually, I've got another T-shirt myself downstairs that I bought. I bought another Ukrainian T-shirt of the same thing, but I got to warn you, since I have the blue one already, and I really like red, and red's one of my favorite colors. I bought the red version, even though I know those aren't the Ukrainian colors, and they almost look a little bit like the Soviet colors. But I like red. I wanted a red T-shirt, so my next Ukrainian flag shirt is coming in red. So don't hate me. Don't hate me. So. A survey. What survey might you be doing there? What else we got going on here, guys? As I said, this is our hanging out period of the show. I don't eat Haribos. I'm not a big fan of Haribos. So I know you're being funny anyway, but I've never enjoyed those kind of sweets. Are not my thing. So, what else? Ukraine Day, NBC 7 p.m. Red, I just like red. I guess, as I'm getting older, my skin color will change and, all of that with your colors. But red, although it's funny too, because the angle, like with the bright light, it makes like the angle looks different. Like my hair is darker this way, it's grayer this way, but it's not actually grayer over here as it is there. It's just the light change stuff. It's funny. Sasha is doing well. She's doing very well. She's been doing well. Her appetite's been good. Thank you, Netlin, for the July thing. Her appetite's been very good. She's eating well. She hasn't been throwing up, not a lick of throwing up. I'm still waiting to see how her stool is, so to speak. She hasn't done that since Sunday, but it's 3 days is kind of the most she's gone before. So let's see. But meaning when she's been sick before, she's gone a good 2. No, she did do 2 or 3 days, and I remember asking the vet, and the vet said, after a lot of diarrhea, that's normal. So knock on wood, she isn't having the opposite problem. But otherwise, she's been, I'm not taking her out for much of a walk, because I don't want her to, when she was having, if you just got off of diarrhea, walking a lot. But, Amber is asking, no, country does not have to have nuclear weapons in order to join NATO. Not at all. Not at all. My God, most of NATO doesn't have nuclear weapons. Really? I mean, the nuclear powers are the Brits, the French, The Americans in NATO? Canadians have nukes? I don't even know. Canada? I'm guessing Canada has. Does Canada have nukes? I don't even know this. But the Brits, the French, and the Americans, no other nuclear powers exist. Okay, I was going to say Canada. I don't hear about it. Yeah, they're the only 3 in NATO that have nukes that I know of. Right? Well, no, NATO we're talking, of course. Yeah, Pakistan and India, right. Turkey, but Turkey doesn't have its own nukes. We may have nuclear weapons on we may have nuclear weapons on Turkish soil. That's a different thing. That's a different thing. But not that. Nope. So I'm Canadian. I don't even know if we have nukes. That's funny. That's kind of funny. Funny. What else we got here? Oops. What was this doing here? So I'm just looking at my Twitch here. More messages below. It's going more slowly on my feed here. Let me there it is. Looking at my Twitch. Oh, there we go. Hello. Oh, thank you, Nikki, for the hat. I always like to do my bowing with that hat on. And thank you for being a subscriber as well, Nikki. I see my Sasha News Network logo there, and Verna and Miss Mickey. Finland's national flower is the lily of the valley. Oh, that's nice. Canada has geese. We don't have nukes. Now, I didn't realize geese were like nasty. We had some beautiful geese by my apartment building when I was living in New York. And I was walking near them once with my dog, and somebody went, "Oh my God, get away from them. Geese are like the nasty." And I was like, "Get out of here." I had no idea they were nasty. So who knew? You just checked. We don't. That's funny. Anyway, but yeah, geese are mean apparently, which I did not realize. Oh, I just remembered I've got some, what do you call it? Taco blah, 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 salsa. I've got to freeze because I opened it a week ago, and I like use salsa once and then it goes bad. And what I've started doing was like freezing salsa in like an ice cube tray, but I think I can't find my damn ice cube trays, because that way you could like break off individual pieces and use it, which is nice. But yeah, you don't have to have nuclear weapons for sure to join NATO. Certainly not. Anyway, but yeah, swans are evil. All right, guys, I'm going to get going. It's 7:45. I need to make some dinner. As always, we'll be back tomorrow night. Same bat time, same bat channel, 6 p.m. Eastern time. Slava Ukraini. And we'll see you guys then. All right. I'm waiting for it to catch up here. The male geese will mess it up. All right. Bye, guys. Twitchers, you're a strong contingent today, mighty Twitchers. Always appreciate it. All right. Bye, everybody. Thanks for joining. I need like a closing song or something. All right. See you guys.